Never force yourself to read a book that you do not enjoy. There are so many good books in the world that it's foolish to waste time on one that does not give you pleasure. Artwood H. Townsend in Good Reading. One of the good books we review today is Dust by Yvonne Adhiambo Owuor. About the author. Yvonne is a Kenyan writer who has won the Ken Prize for African Writing in 2003 for her short story, Weight of Whispers, a story considering an aristocratic Rwandan refugee in Kenya. She has written several short stories that have been shortlisted for various awards. Apart from Dust, she has written The Dragonfly Sea, a book set off the coast of Kenya in 2019. About the book. Dust is a first book published in 2014. The book won the Kenyan's preeminent literary prize, the Jomo Kenyatta Prize for Literature. Having read The Dragonfly Sea and done the review, you can clearly see the characteristics of Yvonne of having setting her books in the local scene and also using the local language, in that infusing our own culture and background into our own works. The book has 369 pages, paperback depicting mountains and a sunset in the background. Currently, the book retails at Kenya shillings 1,690. On to the highlights of the book. The story begins with a mission with Moses Odidi Ogada, which did not work out well, and now being pursued by the police, shot and left for dead. The police arrive at the scene using machismo, collecting the body. Angry Nyipir Ogada, Moses' dad, and his sister Arabel Ajani Ogada organized to pick the body and transfer the same to the northern part of the country. Worth Ogik is the name of the place, a place with a huge history. After this moment, the author takes us to the period post-independence and gives us the brief story of Moses' dad and the fight for independence, while at the same time, we are taken at the backdrop of the post-election violence that rocked the country in the year 2007. The death of Tom Mboya and a community in mourning because of the death, the elation of a nation on having finally got independence, are part of the plot. As the body arrives home for burial, we're introduced to Akai Lokorijom. I like the name Akai. That's Nyipir's wife. Again, we're introduced to Isaiah William Bolton, who comes into the scene, coming to look for his long-lost father, Hugh Bolton. Back to Moses Ogada, a young career man, a student of engineering at the University of Nairobi, graduated top of his class, and off to start a company with his fellow comrade. The business does well, until they land a deal that Moses will not want to be part of. However, the deal is too good for his comrade, and they push Moses out of the deal and eventually out of the company they started together. Things become thick for Moses as he wants to survive, and various doors are shut on his face. A life of crime provides the break he needs. Having grown up in the northern part of the country, definitely it is not hard to get a gun for his business. Remember Isaiah William Bolton? We understand of his father, Hugh Bolton, and his interaction with Akai and Nyipir, that's Moses' dad and mother. Between them, they hold a secret that they do not want to see Isaiah in the place. Police investigation to the disappearance of Hugh came to naught, as the police sent to investigate was sidetracked with other activities happening in the northern part of Kenya. Arabel, Moses' sister, comes to Nairobi to retrace his brother's final steps, where he lived, worked, where he was last seen, and it's at this point we learn of the truth behind the death of his brother, how his life went south after not wanting to be entangled in a contract from the word go that was going against his conscience. Back to Hugh Bolton. How did he get to Worth Ogik? All the way in the northern part of the country. We go back to the colonial period and the story of Hugh and Yepur and how they work together. As the body is laid to rest, all the stories and the intricacies of the characters come to light, and the light go out on Worth Ogik, a new beginning sprouts out. In my opinion, Dust is a simple story. The story of a young, promising man who gets to the life of crime after things turn out to be bad. Shot and dead in the street of Nairobi. But with the characteristic of Yvonne, the book cuts across the pre- and the post-independence Kenya. The tortures and death that happened of prominent people and the quietness that evolved the country. Being set in a period where we are in a state of violence, that is the post-election violence, the author comes out and talks about the issue that as a nation we are so silent about. Corruption, banditry are profoundly mentioned. Having the opportunity to meet the author, Dust was inspired at a time where the country was burning in 2007 at the height of death and political violence. Yvonne marries different languages in the book, and just like the Dragonfly Sea, where she used Swahili saying, this makes the book remarkably interesting. The book has many characters, and how the author intertwines them to this one place, Worth Ogik, makes the book a page-turner and a lovely read. I like the suspense the book carries, how the characters are introduced to the story, and how the author goes to different times and places in the book without losing the reader. However, I feel the book should be slightly shorter and retain the same impact. All in all, this is a wonderful read, and we recommend for you to get your own copy. Remember, you can buy the book at Textbook Center at a discount. Details on the description box below. Have you read Dust by Yvonne Adjembo Owo? If yes, let's take the discussion to the comment box below. Meanwhile, subscribe, like, and share. Till next Sunday, let's